For many years, I believed I was helping my family. I believed that love meant being there when someone needed you. I believed that if you gave people your time, your support, and your trust, they would remember, but I was starting to understand something. Painful. Sometimes the people who benefit from your kindness only remember the result, they forget the sacrifice that created it. After finding those old documents, I spent the entire morning reviewing everything: the mortgage agreement, the payment history, the paperwork from years ago. Every page brought back memories. I remembered sitting in that bank office. I remembered believing I was doing the right thing. I remembered thinking that helping Patricia was just another way of supporting my son. At the time, I never imagined that my kindness would become something people expected, not appreciated. Expected. There is a difference. When you help someone once, they are grateful. When you help someone repeatedly, some people start believing it is your responsibility, and that was exactly what happened. Over the years, Patricia's life improved. The house became more valuable. Her financial situation became stable. She built a comfortable life, a life that started because I gave her the opportunity. But somehow, my role disappeared from the story. When people talked about her success, they talked about her determination, her hard work, her decisions. And yes, she did work hard. I never wanted to take that away from her. But there was one detail nobody mentioned: the door she walked through was opened by someone else. And that someone was me. I spent years staying quiet because I didn't want to seem bitter. I didn't want anyone to think I helped just to receive praise. That was never who I was. Daniel always told me that kindness only mattered if you did it without expecting anything back. I believed that, but I also learned something after losing him. Kindness does not mean allowing people to forget your value. That was a lesson I learned too late. A few weeks after Thanksgiving, I decided to visit the bank. Not because I wanted revenge, not because I wanted to hurt anyone. I just needed answers. I sat in the same type of office where I had spent decades helping others. The difference was that this time, I was the person asking questions. I looked at the information in front of me. Everything was clear. My name was still connected. My responsibility was still there. But emotionally, something had changed. For years, I was afraid of disappointing my family. I was afraid of being called selfish. I was afraid of what Ethan would think, but nobody seemed afraid of hurting me. That realization changed something inside me. I started thinking about all the moments I ignored. The holidays I spent alone, the phone calls I made that were never returned, the times I waited for invitations that never came. The birthdays where I wondered if anyone would remember. I had spent so much energy trying to prove that I was a good mother, but I forgot that I was also a person. Someone with feelings, someone who deserved respect. When I came home that day, I looked around my house differently. For the first time in years, I didn't see an old house filled with memories of the past. I saw a place that belonged to me, a place I built, a place I protected, a place where I survived. I walked into Daniel's old office. His books were still on the shelf. His old watch was still in the drawer. There were moments when I expected him to walk through the door and tell me everything would be okay, but he wasn't there, and maybe that was the reason I needed to be strong, because nobody was coming to save me. I had to save myself. That night, I made a decision I should have made years earlier. I was going to stop carrying a responsibility for people who no longer carried any responsibility toward me. I was going to take my name back, not out of anger, not out of hate, but because I finally understood my own worth. The next morning, I started making calls. I started preparing documents. I started doing what I had done my entire career. I organized, I planned, I protected myself. And for the first time in a long time, I felt something I had forgotten. Peace. But I knew what was coming next. Because once my decision became known, my family would finally have to face the truth they had avoided for years. The life they were so proud of was built on a signature they never truly respected, and soon they would learn that every signature has consequences.